The HypoAfrica study is a collaborative study between multiple centers in Africa and across the globe, really. The NSIA-LUTH Cancer Center in Nigeria, as I said, Ocean Road Cancer Institute in Tanzania, and also South Africa. And we collaborate with partners in Johns Hopkins University, University of Pennsylvania, and we even have someone from Australia joining our team. The study came off on the background of the understanding of the challenges of radiotherapy access in low to middle income countries, and particularly in sub-Saharan Africa. You have a lower number of machines to patients, you have a lower number of oncologists and allied radiation oncology professionals to patients. Based on this, you really want to, maximize the utilization of the radiotherapy equipment and personnel that you have. In addition, the conventional way of treating prostate cancer, that traditional way of treating prostate cancer that we've always known, takes 40 fractions of treatment over 8 weeks. And that's basically 2 months out of a person's life, 2 months where they're not able to work, they're not able to earn income, they have to travel every single day to the center, to the hospital to take treatment. And this leads to significant financial discomfort and even general discomfort. If you think about a city like Lagos that's very busy and traffic laden, imagine that it takes 5 hours a day to travel to the hospital and back, and having to do that every single day for 8 months. It does take a significant toll on the person. So it is off of the background of all of this that the HypoAfrica study was designed. It has been conducted in other countries and found to be equivalent in outcomes and toxicity. And the premise of the study is a feasibility trial to make sure that we can replicate the same thing in Africa with the equipment and the personnel that we have and get similar results. So our hypothesis is that we can successfully implement HypoAfrica on this continent, hypofractionated radiotherapy for prostate cancer. And so far, the results are very promising. The ACT3 program is an access to cancer clinical trials program in Africa. And this is important because we tend to explain to people that ultimately access to cancer clinical trials is more than just the institution and the investigators. It is about the people who get diagnosed with cancer, who need access to care. The point of data is that data eventually leads to improved care and improved outcomes for people who are diagnosed and living with cancer. And so the impact of that is that as we are able to conduct more clinical trials in our environment, collect our data, interpret our data, and implement our findings in our environment, we are ultimately able to get better outcomes for our patients. The first trial that we've run on the AC3T is the digitization of old clinical records trial. And the investigator on that is somebody, a colleague of mine called Dr. Wumi Alabi. And the impact of that ultimately is that we're looking at decades of paper-based patient information being converted into digital formats. And what that does is that we're able to access that data from multiple places. We're able to analyze it in multiple ways. We're able to draw all kinds of inferences, correlations, and pull from that information, and able to apply it to our daily practice, as we go forward to improve our patient outcomes. The partnerships that we form, the partnerships that we're working towards, and the ones that we have already are highly impactful. So the NSIA-LUTH Cancer Center at this time is the most equipped and most staffed cancer center in the region. It is also the busiest. We have a huge footprint of individuals who are coming in every single day for treatment. And so we are collecting a wealth of data that is important for research, and as discussed already, that is going to ultimately impact practice in the country. And we're partnering with BBGH and other organizations on a daily basis and working on multiple projects together. Ultimately, the cancer problems that we face in LMICs and in sub-Saharan Africa can only be solved with a collaborative attitude. And from a collaborative point of view, as busy as a center is, no one center, no one institution is equipped enough or staffed enough to solve all of the issues. So we continue to collaborate. We have partners locally and internationally, and we continue to create more relationships on a daily basis, every single day. And ultimately, I think that this is how we're going to solve the cancer problem on the continent of Africa.